Hey everyone, Jack here. Today we're diving into the top 10 general mechanical problems you should be aware of. From those annoying squeaks and rattles to the downright dangerous, we're gonna break down these mechanical mishaps so you can spot them before they turn into major headaches. Whether you're a seasoned tinkerer or just starting out, understanding these common issues will give you a leg up in keeping your machines running smoothly and, most importantly, safely. Let's get started. Bearings, those little metal heroes that reduce friction between moving parts, can be a real pain when they wear out. You'll know it's happening when you hear that telltale squeaking or grinding noise. That's the sound of metal rubbing on metal, and trust me, you don't want to ignore it. Think of it like this. Bearings are like the cartilage in your knees. If they wear down, things start rubbing together, causing pain and eventually leading to more serious problems. The same goes for your machines. Ignoring worn-out bearings can lead to increased friction, heat buildup, and eventually catastrophic failure. We're talking seized parts, broken shafts, the whole shebang. So, how do you prevent this mechanical mayhem? Regular lubrication is key. Just like you wouldn't run a marathon without stretching, you shouldn't run your machines without keeping those bearings happy and slick. And if you start hearing those ominous noises, don't wait. Replace those worn-out bearings as soon as possible and save yourself a whole lot of trouble down the road. A seized motor is about as much fun as a dead battery on a cold morning. It's a real bummer, and it can happen for a bunch of reasons. Overloading, overheating, lack of lubrication, these can all spell doom for your motor. Imagine this. You're trying to start your car, but the engine won't turn over. That's essentially what happens when a motor seizes. The internal components lock up, bringing everything to a grinding halt. Now, a seized motor isn't just an inconvenience, it can be downright dangerous. Imagine it happening to a piece of industrial equipment, or even worse, the engine on a plane. Not a good scenario. The good news is that motor seizure is often preventable. Regular maintenance, proper lubrication, and avoiding overloading your machines can go a long way in keeping those motors humming happily. And if you do find yourself with a seized motor, well, it's usually time for a replacement. But hey, look at it this way. It's better than the alternative. Gears. Those toothed marvels of engineering that transmit power and motion, but even these tough cookies can fall victim to wear and tear, leading to breaks, jams, and a whole lot of mechanical mayhem. Imagine two gears meshing together perfectly, transferring power smoothly and efficiently. Now imagine one of those teeth snapping off. Suddenly, you've got metal fragments flying, a horrible grinding noise, and a machine that's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Gears can break for a number of reasons. Excessive load, improper lubrication, misalignment, you name it. And when they do, it's usually not pretty. But broken gears aren't the only problem. Gears can also jam, which is essentially a less dramatic version of braking. This can happen when there's too much friction, debris in the gears, or if they're misaligned. The key takeaway here is that gears, like any other mechanical component, need some TLC. Regular inspections, proper lubrication, and making sure they're properly aligned will go a long way in preventing gear-related disasters. Chains and V-belts, those flexible warriors that transfer power between rotating shafts. They might seem simple, but don't let that fool you. These components are critical for keeping your machines running smoothly. Imagine a bicycle chain. It's made up of individual links that connect and transmit power from the pedals to the rear wheel. Now imagine that chain coming loose, or even worse, snapping. Not only would you be in for a bumpy ride, but you could also end up with a nasty crash. The same principle applies to chains and V-belts in machinery. Over time, they can stretch, wear down, or become misaligned, leading to reduced efficiency, slippage, and even complete failure. Regular inspections are crucial for catching these issues early on. Check for signs of wear and tear, proper tension, and make sure everything is aligned according to the manufacturer's specifications. Remember, a well-maintained chain or V-belt is a happy one, and a happy chain or V-belt means a happy machine. Hydraulic systems, they're the muscle behind some of the most powerful machines on the planet. But when these systems fail, things can get messy, and I mean really messy. Imagine a high-pressure water hose suddenly bursting. That's pretty much what happens when a hydraulic line fails, except, instead of water, you've got hydraulic fluid spraying everywhere. And that stuff is not your friend. Hydraulic fluid is slippery, corrosive, and can be a fire hazard. Plus, it makes one heck of a mess. Not to mention the fact that a hydraulic system failure can bring your machine to a screeching halt. So what causes these hydraulic horrors? Corrosion, wear and tear, excessive pressure, and improper installation are just a few culprits. The best way to prevent hydraulic havoc is through regular inspections and maintenance. Check those lines for leaks, cracks, or any signs of damage, and make sure those fittings are tight. We all know what happens when we get overheated. We sweat, we get cranky, and we just want to lie down in a dark room. Well, machines aren't much different. When they overheat, things can go from bad to worse real fast. Imagine your car engine overheating on a hot summer day. You see smoke billowing from under the hood, you smell that burning smell, and you know you're in trouble. Overheating in machines can be caused by a number of factors, including insufficient lubrication, blocked airflow, excessive load, and even environmental factors like high ambient temperatures. The consequences of overheating can be dire. We're talking warped parts, seized components, melted wires, and in extreme cases, even fire. So, how do you prevent your machines from turning into molten metal? Regular maintenance is key. Make sure those cooling systems are clean and functioning properly. Keep an eye on those temperature gauges, and don't push your machines beyond their limits. Bolts and nuts, they're the unsung heroes of the mechanical world, holding everything together. But when these seemingly insignificant fasteners come loose, it can lead to some major mechanical mayhem. Imagine a wheel coming loose on a moving car. Not a pretty picture, right? That's what can happen when bolts and nuts aren't properly tightened. Loose fasteners can cause vibrations, noise, and misalignment, which can lead to premature wear and tear on your machines. In extreme cases, loose bolts and nuts can even cause catastrophic failures, resulting in serious damage or injury. The good news is that preventing loose fasteners is relatively simple. Regular inspections and using a torque wrench to tighten fasteners to the correct specifications can make all the difference. Remember, a loose bolt today could mean a broken machine tomorrow. So, keep those fasteners tight and your machines running smoothly. Brakes. They're arguably the most important safety feature on any moving vehicle or machine. When brakes fail, the consequences can be catastrophic. Imagine driving down a steep mountain road when your brakes suddenly give out. It's a terrifying thought, and unfortunately, it happens more often than you might think. Brake system failures can occur for a variety of reasons, including worn brake pads, leaking hydraulic lines, damaged rotors, and even something as simple as a faulty brake light switch. The key to preventing brake failures is regular inspections and maintenance. Have your brakes checked by a qualified mechanic at least once a year, and more frequently if you do a lot of driving in hilly or stop-and-go traffic. Remember, when it comes to brakes, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Shafts and axles. They're the backbone of many rotating machines, transmitting power and keeping things moving smoothly. But even these heavy-duty components can develop cracks, which can lead to sudden and catastrophic failures. Imagine a drive shaft snapping on a car traveling at highway speeds. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's a stark reminder of why it's so important to take cracks in shafts and axles seriously. Cracks can develop over time due to fatigue, stress, corrosion, or even manufacturing defects. Often these cracks start small and gradually grow larger, weakening the component until it eventually fails. The key to preventing shaft and axle failures is early detection. Regular inspections using visual inspection techniques, dye penetrant testing, or even ultrasonic testing can help identify cracks before they become a major problem. Remember, a small crack today could mean a broken shaft tomorrow. So, be proactive and keep those shafts and axles in tip-top shape. In our increasingly electrified world, machines rely heavily on complex electrical systems to function. But when these systems go haywire, it can lead to anything from minor annoyances to major meltdowns. Imagine a sudden power surge frying the control board of your brand new CNC machine, or a loose wire shorting out, causing a cascade of electrical failures that bring your entire production line to a grinding halt. Electrical problems can stem from a variety of sources, including loose connections, worn wiring, moisture intrusion, overheating, and even pesky critters chewing on cables. Preventing these electrical gremlins involves a multi-pronged approach. Regular inspections of wiring and connections, keeping electrical panels clean and dry, and ensuring proper grounding can go a long way in preventing problems. And remember, electricity is a powerful force that should always be treated with respect. If you're not comfortable working with electrical systems, it's always best to call in a qualified electrician. Thanks for watching. Make sure to keep an eye out for these common mechanical problems to keep your machines running smoothly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more informative videos. See you next time.